here today. Again, it's music to our ears, what we're hearing behind us, and I'm really excited to be here at the Regional Operations Center topping out. I do want to acknowledge just a few people that have made it out this brave and early morning. I've got just a few: Aaron Atkins, Dan Belleville, Supervisor David Canepa, Supervisor Don Horsley, Peggy Jensen, John Maltby, County Manager, Stan Malpin, the Fire Chief of Redwood City, Supervisor David Pine and President, Jim Porter, Director of Public Works. I've got Melissa Stevenson, Redwood City Manager, Mark Stewart with CAL FIRE, Mayor Ian Bain of Redwood City, Mark Robbins, Assistant Sheriff, Tricia Sanchez, Under Sheriff, Steve Wagstaff, our District Attorney. Thank you all for coming. So just a couple of things. This microphone cuts out. I really have to stay close to it. A couple of things I'd like to just talk about project highlights, and then just briefly acknowledge those that have been contributing to this project. So inside this building, those that you may not know, we have an extremely large uninterrupted power supply source. So in the event that we do lose power, these will kick on, and we have two very, very large generators, and it's apparently 1,250 kilowatts for all of you that know what that means. They're just really super big. We also on this project have our very own domestic water storage tank in the unlikely event that we don't have water or maybe pay our bill to Redwood. We have a state-of-the-art data center. It's also going to be home to the Office of Emergency Services and the county's Emergency Operations Center, Public Safety Communication, and an added enhancement, we have a training facility within the building. It also has 354 DSM columns, so that actually support the building and stabilize the ground. So very exciting. And then just briefly, I do want to acknowledge those that have been part of this project and coming and staying with us and attending meetings and really contributing to the attributes of this building. And first and foremost, Mike Callaghy, the Assistant County Manager, who has really led this charge as his project. He has been from the very beginning and the start of this. I have joined the project late, but he has been from the very beginning. Keith Anderson, our project manager, Scott Gurley, project manager, Adam Ely, County Council, John Byers, Robert Bastiki, Pete Garcia, Captain Alma Zamora, Lee Violet, Chris Flatmo, Ann Weiss, Tony Usen, Jamie Young, Dan Belleville, Bob Waddy, Miles Hancock, John Brennan, Jim Porter, Rob Cockbrenner, and all of the PDU staff. Thank you again for contributing. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mike Callaghy.
Okay, I'm with Debbie. I say just keep working, do not stop until this building's done. Thank you all for being here today. This is really a milestone day for all of us who've been involved in this for a long time. And I'd like to start by thanking Debbie and her team at the PDU. They have done a terrific job. It takes a special person to drive projects forward, and Debbie's been that person. She's assembled an incredible team. I'd also like to recognize Jim Porter, our Director of Public Works, who really started this with his team, with Rebecca and Rob Cockbrenner, and got this rolling before we started the Project Development Unit. Rich Henry, I don't know if Rich is here. He's the president of Northern California Construction for McCarthy. His team has been just great to work with. See Adam back here and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for all that you're doing here. I gotta tell you, it's been fun kind of going up on these steps and watching the iron workers. These guys are crazy. I mean, they're like running around beams up there, slamming things together, but doing a great job. And certainly Roger Lickman from AECOM, thank you so much for all your contributions here. I'd also like to thank the representatives from Redwood City, our colleagues. Mayor Bain, thank you for being here, and Melissa and Aaron. They're great partners for us. We collaborate. They do a great job. We got other projects going here in the county that we're collaborating on, so thank you very much. I got to tell you, this building is really the vision of the Board of Supervisors. And President Pine is here, and Supervisor Canepa and Supervisor Horsley, and I know that Supervisor Groom and Supervisor Slocum would also be here, but they put high value on public safety, and that's what this building is all about. And the other person we've got to thank is certainly our county manager, John Malpe. Really, without your support, John, in driving this forward, thank you so much. From day one, you have been there. And what this really is, and what this really represents, is a promise to the community. And that promise is when that disaster strikes, and unfortunately we know it will, and it has in the past, that we as your government will be there. We will be there for the community. We will be there to respond, to rescue, to rebuild if necessary, but we will be there. And that promise starts with this building right here, because this building represents a very important part of that promise, because it'll be where the dispatches are housed. It'll be sending emergency services throughout the county. It's certainly where our Office of Emergency Service will be operating out, rolling up, getting busy, helping to deploy resources, and certainly be the nerve center of our Emergency Operations Center, where we'll all be busy working, trying to figure out how to send resources around this county. So this is a critical building. It's also where the center of our training is going to be. And I just again like to thank Donna Valancourt and Ann Weiss for their contribution to this building and really making it an unbelievable center for training. So this building will not only stand the test of time, but it'll be fully operational when that disaster strikes. And it'll be built, we've really built this to the state of the art so that we have all the equipment necessary to respond when necessary. So I want to thank all of you for being here at this topping off ceremony. It's really, like I said, a milestone. And I always wondered what, topping off ceremony really is about. I had no idea, so Debbie enlightened me. So I just want to give you a little bit of information on this, kind of the history of topping off ceremonies. So a topping off ceremony comes from the old 8th century Scandinavian tradition. Topping out signifies that a building has reached the maximum height, not that it's complete, as you can certainly tell here. The tree was incorporated in the ceremony when the British were introduced to the concept of topping out. The evergreen tree being added to the top signifies a celebration of so far safe construction site, an expression of the hope that for a secure and safe completion of the building. So around the world, the ceremony is celebrated different ways. For example, Jordan builders hold a religious ceremony. Denmark, the roof of the building is decorated. America, we paint the beam white and we sign it and hoist it up. Brazil, the branches and leaves are fixed to the building. But the one I like the best, the one I personally like the best, is Spain, because a flag is raised and then all the workers and all the employees who occupy that building are invited to lunch on the boss. So having said that, let me invite up our county manager, John Malpe. Thank you very much.
Well, now I know I have to buy lunch. We're going to have to cut a few things out of the building. The sides, the roof. It'll be lovely in the summer. Believe me, lots of air. But I just want to take a minute and talk about the people that are going to occupy the building, our public safety dispatchers. As you all know, we have an incredible public safety team in this county. From the sheriff's department to police officers to firefighters to emergency medical people, and it all begins with our public safety dispatchers. They're the calm people on the end of the phone that get the emergency responders to where they need to be as safely as humanly possible. And if you ever walk into the dispatch center, I'm always struck by the calm that is at the dispatch terminals, whatever's going on. In fact, if I'm ever anxious, it's better than Prozac. You just walk down there and these people are just incredible in an emergency, as I'm sure our emergency responders know well. So to those people, I want to apologize because this has been long overdue. I wish we could have made this possible years ago, but it's happening now, and it's going to be a building that is really represents the county's commitment to all of our employees that we're going to provide the facilities, the training, and all the resources you need to do your job for the citizens of our county. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our public safety dispatchers.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Mike. I'd like to invite the President of the Board of Supervisors, David Pine, to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I want to also thank the incredible team of people who came together to make this building a reality. The PDU, our Public Works, our outside contractors and architects, and so many others that are here in the audience. Getting this building out of the ground was not an easy task. I actually don't know all the gory details, but I know there are lots of gory details, including discovering all kinds of things underground. So I blame that on the mayor of Redwood City for... But what we did, or what this team did, is they kind of bent this project to their will. I mean, they said, we're gonna get through these obstacles, and they did. And this team is, as County Manager Malpe mentioned, has a dozen projects or more all around the county, and some significant ones here at the county center, and they're just doing some remarkable work. So when I think about this building, you know, first off, you know, the state's working on this emergency alert system for earthquakes. So my hope is that it gives me enough time to get out of my office and get over here. I do spend a fair amount of time thinking about emergencies, particularly massive storm events. So we thought about that when we were building this structure and looked at the FEMA maps and have designed the building accordingly. So we will see a storm of that kind, but we more likely will have an earthquake. That could happen anytime. So to have a building of this capacity and resiliency is so critical. And as County Manager Malpe mentioned, you know, the day-to-day work that our dispatch does is so critically important. They're working 24/7, you know, every minute of the year. They take almost 400,000 calls a day. They are the first responders of the first responders. And finally, after many years, we'll have a world-class team occupying a world-class building. So this is an exciting moment for them and for all of us in the county, and very excited to see us reach this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Pine. In closing, I just want to thank everyone again for bearing with us as we undergo the construction, the disruption, and to still hang in there with us. As you know, we have other projects coming to this campus, so in advance, I thank you and I apologize for what is yet to come. But it is exciting, so please do bear with us. The next part of the program, I want to invite everyone to walk down the pathway. You'll follow Karen and you'll be given a pen, and you're actually all invited to sign the beam that will be hoisted into the air. So please join us.